What's going on, beautiful and amazing people? Welcome back. Doc Genzo here with another duel video. Today we got two rogue deck matchups with Unchained versus INFINITRACK. Let's go ahead and get started on the Unchained side as he normal summons a Rakea, targeting his trap to blow it up, and then the trap will summon a Sarama from the deck. As you can see, we have the effects up on the screen here. And then Sarama is going to target the trap, set it, and then blow up the Rakea. Rakea is going to summon an abominable Unchained Soul from the deck, already starting off with the big boys here. Now we're going to link two into an Unchained Soul of Rage. Blue Dog. Activating a Abomination's Prison now to add an Abominable Chamber of the Unchained to his hand, and then setting 4. A lot of back row with this build. It's very interesting. Let's see where it goes as he passes the turn. INFINITRACK's now going to draw for turn. Let's see if he has what it takes to get past all this back row. If you'll notice on the left side, that is Aaron from Top Tier Gaming YGO. Make sure to go check them out on YouTube. As he normal summons an INFINITRACK Harvester, chaining Derricrane to the summon in the hand. We'll have the effect for Derricrane coming up whenever he summons it. And there it is right there. Derricrane's going to let him, I believe, well no, this is Harvester's effect resolving. Harvester's going to add a Brutal Dozer to the hand. A lot of history with these two. It's Mr. Levi and Mr. Aaron from Top Tier Gaming YGO. Again, make sure to go check them out on YouTube. Very nice guys. Very fun guys to play against. Very good at deck building as well, both of these gentlemen. So let's see what happens with this matchup as he looks to see what he can do to get past these 4 back row cards here, as well as the Blue Dog, which lets him link off with his monsters during his opponent's turn. Linking off the INFINITRACK Harvester into an INFINITRACK Goliath. Switching up the spots there real quick, which is why the effect is just now popping up. So far, no response from Mr. Levi there with the Unchained cards. Tributing off the Goliath now to special summon Brutal Dozer in the hand. And then Brutal Dozer is going to attempt to search whenever it's summoned. Or special summon for the deck, my apologies, but that's going to get infinite impermanenced. We'll just call it Imperm from here on out. Linking off the Brutal Dozer into another Goliath. Let's see what he can do here. Linking off the Derricrane and the Goliath to go into an Anger Knuckle. Double-headed Anger Knuckle. Sorry, that card's name gets lost on me sometimes. Very long name, but it's an interesting card, very interesting. A lot of usefulness, especially in the Earth Machine deck. As he sets 2, looks like he's going to go to pass the turn. Let's see if there's any responses at end phase from Unchained. And it looks like there is. An Abominable Chamber of the Unchained is going to be activated to special summon a Rakea from the graveyard. And then on resolution of that, Escape of the Unchained is going to be activated to blow up his Rakea and the double-headed Anger Knuckle. Gotta get that right. And then Rakea is going to summon Sarama from the deck. A lot of value with this back row here, folks. And Sarama's just going to reset that back row. And now we're going to draw for turn on the Unchained side. And let's see where we can go from here. Looks like we have some options here, folks. Got 3 back row on both sides. These two players do indeed love their back row here, folks. Which, if you're playing a rogue matchup these days, back row tends to be the way to go. Although, with some engines, it could still work. I've been seeing a lot of good results with rocket engines in various decks, Raid Raptors, and the like. Just good extension, all that good stuff. He's going to put Sarama in attack mode, it looks like, and we're just going to go ahead and swing for 3,300 damage. 15 off the Sarama and 18 off the Unchained Soul of Rage. The back row must be making him nervous on the opponent's side, as he does not seem to be wanting to do anything at the moment. As he doesn't want to give his opponent any value, as some of the back row in the game not only strips your opponent of resources, but can also give you value. So let's see where this goes. Looks like he's going to activate the Sarama, but then the Call by the Grave is going to be chained, targeting the other Sarama in the grave, negating all Sarama effects for the turn. Very good play over there by Aaron. Then passing the turn on that note. Drawing for turn on the INFINITRACK side now. Let's see if he's got what it takes here to make it past 2 more back row, as well as a quick effect link with his own monster. So it looks like he's going to normal summon an Ancient Gear Box. That's not really a card you want to draw in this deck, but let's see what happens here. Next, we're going to activate a Machina Overdrive, targeting his Ancient Gear Box. Summoning a Machina Metal Cruncher, and then destroying the Ancient Gear Box. Then Metal Cruncher is going to go into battle, and we're going to swing at the Unchained Soul of Rage. Then Unchained Soul of Rage is going to add back an Unchained card from the graveyard to his hand. Let's see what else can happen here, folks. As he links off the Metal Cruncher, it looks like, or sends it to the graveyard to special summon back the double-headed Anger Knuckle. Then sets 2 cards and passes the turn. Drawing for turn now. See what happens here, folks. Sarama on one end, a double-headed Anger Knuckle on the other. 2 back row versus 1. Let's see what happens. The Sarama can easily make that 1 back row 2 at the cost of one of his cards, but they float so well that he still gets the value. Looks like he's going to normal summon another Rakea. Or the Rakea he added back off the Unchained Soul of Rage. My apologies. Sarama is going to target the Escape of the Unchained to set it, and then blow up the Rakea. And the Rakea is going to let him special summon from the deck. Going into another Abominable Unchained Soul. Love the design on these cards, folks. Next up, let's see what happens. His double-headed Anger Knuckle is blown up off the effect of Abominable Unchained Soul. And then they're both going to swing for 4,500 damage. Abominable Unchained Soul being 3,000 and Sarama being 1,500. In passing the turn. At end phase, it looks like Machina Overdrive is going to be activated. Shuffling 3 machines back into the deck and then letting him draw a card. Looks like he's going to shuffle back the Ancient Gear Box, the INFINITRACK Harvester, and the INFINITRACK Goliath. Gotta be careful with your Goliaths with these decks, folks. You can run out of them fairly quickly, especially because they're Link 1. So shuffling them back into the deck, a very good strategy. As he draws for that, and then he draws for turn. Pitching off a card to special summon back the double-headed Anger Knuckle from the graveyard. Looks like he pitched off a Gozen match. Kind of useless in this matchup for him, but it's good against most of the meta decks at the moment, such as Tri-Brigade and stuff like that. Looks like he's going to set another card, and looks like he's going to attempt to pass the turn here. Let's see what happens. Escape of the Unchained is going to be activated on end phase, targeting his Abominable Unchained Soul and the double-headed Anger Knuckle. And then it looks like we're going to go to game 2. Alright folks, here we are in game 2. INFINITRACK looks like it's going to start us off here. Let's start us off with a heavy forward. Adding an INFINITRACK monster from the deck to the hand. Adding an INFINITRACK Harvester. Then Harvester is going to let him search again. Adding a Brutal Dozer. Dimension Shifter is then going to be chained to the resolution of the INFINITRACK Harvester effect. Basically shutting off most graveyard plays for now. Gonna be thinking about his next possible move here, folks. Still thinking here, folks. This is a very sticky situation for him. Let's see what can happen. Setting one card. It looks like he just might pass the turn here, folks. Oh, nope, he's going to set another card, and no, it looks like he's just going to sit on the one card and pass the turn. Now, the thing about D-Shifter is that it can backfire, as also it is live during the Unchained player's turn, but since his cards do not specify they need to go to the graveyard for that, they just need to be destroyed, he'll still get special summons. Now it looks like an Extravagance is going to be activated at the start of the main phase 1. Let him draw 2 cards. Let's see what else he has in store. It's got to be nice whenever you can refill your hand like that. Normal summoning a Rakea. It looks like he's going to be asking what some of the cards on the opponent's side will do, or just having some conversation here in general. And the Rakea is going to go into battle and swing over the Harvester for 1500 damage, as the Harvester is 0 attack. Harvester is going to get banished off the D-Shifter. We're going to set 2 cards, and it looks like we're going to pass the turn without doing much else. Playing very conservatively, but it is working for him. You don't want to extend too much, especially with that one back row in the back. And you don't know what the opponent has in hand as well, folks. It could easily just shut you down. Activating a Twin Twisters, looks like in standby phase. Pitching off an Urgent Schedule to target both of the back row. Now this is an interesting play by Aaron, as some of the Unchained, well, all the Unchained traps tend to special summon for the deck whenever they are destroyed. However, it's also a fairly good play in that the traps will not be there to hinder his plays, as most of the Unchained, aside from Rakea, only activate on the turn player's turn. since they're not quick effects. So Escape of the Unchained is going to be chained, targeting the face down, and then targeting the Rakaea, blowing up both. Seeing if there's a response to it. And it looks like there's no response. Looks like the Imperm is going to get destroyed. Interesting choice. Not an interesting choice. A good choice. Good choice. And then both the traps are going to get blown up. But since you can only activate one effect per turn, looks like Escape of the Unchained is not going to be able to get the monster out of the deck. But Abominable Chamber of the Unchained is, as well as Rakaea. So Abominable Chamber is going to summon an Unchained Soul of Rage. Or Disaster, my bad. And then Unchained Twins of Ruha is also going to be summoned. He's one of my favorites. Special summons himself from the hand by destroying a card you control. Just value upon value for there, folks. Ashing the other Urgent Schedule in the hand, and then Ancient Gearbox is going to be normal summoned. Tributed to special summon a Brutal Dozer, and the Dozer is going to summon from the deck. Summoning an INFINITRACK Trencher. Looks like you're going to have more of a slobber knocker here, folks, shall we say. Both sides going back and forth as a River Stormer is being summoned. INFINITRACK River Stormer. Detaching to let him search. Let's see what he searches here, folks. Adding a Super Express Bullet Train to hand. Can't really comment much on that, as I haven't played against INFINITRACKs or with INFINITRACKs too much here, folks. But I'll commentate as best I can, as Super Express Bullet Train is special summoned. And then River Stormer is special summoned back after being sent to the graveyard. Let's see what happens here. Linking off the River Stormer into an INFINITRACK Goliath. And seeing what he can do to get past that board over there. Linking off the Super Express Bullet Train and the INFINITRACK Goliath. Thinking about an Ancient Gear Ballista, it looks like. Seeing what else he can do. It's a tough decision here, folks. He is having to play from behind just a tad, as the value from the Unchained floating so much is just... it's very good, and more than most decks can handle these days. Looks like he's thinking about the Ancient Gear Ballista. Maybe go grab another Ancient Gear box, perhaps, to special it for extension purposes. No. And grabbing the double-headed Anger Knuckle instead. Choo-choo. Then it looks like INFINITRACK Trencher is going to be banished for its effect. Special summoning back. Thinking about his play here. The Brutal Dozer. Ancient Gear Box is then going to be added to hand. And then since it was added to hand, it can be special summoned. Or rather, equipped to Brutal Dozer. My apologies. Again, don't really play with the cards too much, so. Or no, it's added to hand, and then he also adds the INFINITRACK Tunneler to hand. Gosh, my commentary's on top today, folks, ain't it? Looks like he's going to pass the turn after adding those two cards. Unchained are going to draw for turn, and let's see where he goes. Normal summoning a Sarama. Sarama, one of the best cards in the deck. Very good card. Targeting the Escape of the Unchained, and then blowing up Aruha. And then Aruha is going to search and special summon any Unchained from the deck. No response from the opponent, as Abominable Unchained Soul is again summoned. Looks like Abominable Unchained Soul's effect is going to be activated, pitching off a torrential tribute to target a card on the field and destroy it. Looks like he's going to figure out which of those he wants to destroy. Looks like he's going to destroy the double-headed Anger Knuckle, maybe. And then Super Express Bullet Train is going to get specialed. Super Express Bullet Train, a lot of attack. But you gotta send cards to attack with it. Then it looks like the Super Express Bullet Train and the INFINITRACK Brutal Dozer are gonna get blown up. And then Abominable Soul, or Unchained Soul of Rage is gonna be summoned, and then we're gonna swing for 6,300 total damage at Aaron. Sorry folks, a lot of cards here to keep up with. A lot of blowing up here, folks. A lot of... Oh, he linked off with one of the monsters, my bad. Because Unchained Soul of Disaster lets him link off with one of the opponent's monsters. Adding back the Brutal Dozer. Then drawing for turn. A lot of recursion with INFINITRACKs here, folks. Getting all those monsters back to hand, but let's see if he can play through all this reactions the opponent has. Special summoning Double-Headed Anger Knuckle by discarding a card. Looks like he discarded the INFINITRACK Tunneler. Let's see what else can happen here, folks. Thinking about tributing the Double-Headed Anger Knuckle for the Brutal Dozer, maybe. And it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Brutal Dozer is going to be special summoned and then summoned from the deck, if the effect goes through. The opponent may have a response. No response, it looks like, so Brutal Dozer is going to summon from the deck. And we're going to summon another INFINITRACK Trencher. A lot of cool cards with this deck here, folks. If you ever want to try something new, pick it up. It's cheap now, especially with the Megaton reprints of Heavy Forward and everything coming out. And Metal Cruncher as well. Machina tend to work well with most machine archetypes. Think about what his next move should be here. And it looks like the Unchained player is going to activate Unchained Soul of Rage in order to link off with the Brutal Dozer and go into an Unchained Soul of Anguish, which also lets him link with his opponent's monsters, but it is not a quick effect. Linking off the Trencher now to go into an INFINITRACK Goliath. Attributing the Goliath to special summon back the River Stormer, it looks like. And then the River Stormer is going to attach the Goliath as material. Looks like it might be able to pull this back, folks, on the INFINITRACK side, but never say never. Heavy Forward is now going to use this effect to attach itself to River Stormer. Detaching for effect to add from deck to hand. No response from the opponent, it looks like. Think about what card can get him out of his jam. This is definitely an interesting circumstance here. Pretty heavy board that he has to get past here. But if anyone can do it, it is Aaron. Adding a drill claw, it looks like, to hand. Or maybe not. Gotta think 2-3 steps ahead here, folks. And that's precisely what he's doing. Seeing if there's anything that he can do to advance the board state, as well as, I would say, devolve would probably be the best word, his opponent's board state. Looks like he is going to add the drill claw to hand. Normal summoning the drill claw, or anchor drill, sorry. Again, a lot of weird names. Anchor drill is going to special summon the ancient gear box from his hand. And then INFINITRACK Trencher is going to banish itself to summon one from the graveyard. Seeing what effects do what here, it looks like. Seeing if there's any lockouts. Someone behind me seems to have started their car. Very loud considering I'm on the third building of my complex. So Trencher is banishing itself to special summon, it looks like. Special summoning back the INFINITRACK Tunneler. And let's see what else he can do here. Looks like he's maybe deciding to pass turn here, folks. Just set up a wall and hope that he doesn't die. Not a terrible strategy. That, or thinking of what he can do to not die. As leaving that anchor drill up will indeed allow Levi to get game here with a simple attack from the Abominable Unchained Soul. A lot of contemplation in these games, folks. When you're vying for the top, you can never be too careful. Unless it takes you into time, then you can't be too careful. Looks like you're going to overlay now. Into an INFINITRACK Earth Slicer. Interesting play here. As the INFINITRACK's levels did increase, it looks like. Reading what Earth Slicer does exactly. Detaching any number of materials to pop that many cards on the field. There's the edit for Earth Slicer. Nice fancy Earth Slicer there. Looks like Escape of the Unchained is going to be chained to the summon of that, blowing up the Abominable Unchained Soul to blow it up. An Abominable Unchained Soul should summon itself back, maybe. Or not. Doesn't look like it. That or he may just be choosing not to. You never know with these kinds of things. Banishing the INFINITRACK Tunneler. Ashing the INFINITRACK Tunneler. A lot of saving your reactions for just the right moment here. Levi's playing it definitely smart here, folks. Both players are. Seeing what else can possibly be done to get out of this sticky wicket, shall we say. We can get his graveyard, seeing if there's any possibility. Looks like you might just have to concede here, folks. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Unchained, take the match.